This is Johnny Nelson, and you're watching Sporting Icons.
Okay, so Frank Warren spoke to TalkSport as per usual. Why? Because he can probably control the narrative over there. Anyway, he was asked about, well, why is Tyson Fury fighting Francis Ngannou rather than the other top contenders? And this is what Frank Warren had to say. Why did we make the fight? Because we tried to make the fight with Alexander Usyk. We tried to make the fight with Anthony Joshua, and neither one of them wanted to know. Frank Warren statement. Okay, so firstly, well, Alexander Usyk is a unified world heavyweight champion. We've been through all that. Tyson Fury ducked Alexander Usyk. I don't care if you agree or disagree, but I'm right, okay? As far as Anthony Joshua is concerned, well, Anthony Joshua has already been making plans to fight somebody else, and he's tired of Tyson Fury's games, going through weeks and weeks of negotiations, only for Tyson Fury to pull out of the negotiations like he always does. So, of course, Anthony Joshua doesn't trust Tyson Fury. So, Alexander Usyk is a unified heavyweight world champion and nothing to do with Tyson Fury's WBC belt. Anthony Joshua is ranked in the WBC. But Tyson Fury has to defend that belt against anybody in the top 15 of the WBC. So that leaves, okay, Anthony Joshua, however, that leaves 14 other potential opponents. 14. And what, you couldn't get one of them, Frank? You're not very good at this, are you? You're not very good at this, are you, Frank? Because it's becoming a little bit of a pattern now, and I'm sure Frank, deep down, must be sick and tired of defending the shenanigans of Tyson Fury. He must be. Whenever that phone goes and he sees it's Tyson, he must quiver. He must do. But when you've got this guy, last time out, Tyson Fury taking on Derek Chisora, Frank Warren was the one out there trying to justify it by saying that Derek Chisora was the best available opponent, going by BoxRec. As if Tyson Fury is the BoxRec World Heavyweight Champion. Right? He's a WBC World Heavyweight Champion. So that's the ranking you go down, and Chisora was right at the bottom of it. And now here he is, not going to be taking on somebody in the top 15, instead an exhibition fight. And Frank Warren's defending it. Frank Warren, a guy who criticised these crossover fights before. He criticised it. He never wants to be involved in it. Well, now he's been involved in two, hasn't he? Tommy Fury and Jake Paul, and now Tyson Fury, Francis Ngannou. What's going on, Frank? What's going on? Frank, you are so out of touch, mate. You're so out of touch. And it's embarrassing because he's trying to justify it, but he's so old school now, he doesn't realise that people of 2023 are not buying it. Things are no longer behind closed doors. They're on record. They're out there. They're out there in the atmosphere. People can follow the trail. People can see that Tyson Fury ducked Alexander Usyk. People can see that Tyson Fury ducked Anthony Joshua for Undisputed and has been messing him about ever since. People can see that Tyson Fury did not offer any of the top 15 the fight. Oh, Andy Ruiz Jr. Apparently Andy Ruiz Jr. wanted 20 million. I don't know if that's true. I have no idea. No idea. But if that's true, okay, Ruiz priced himself out. So that would leave another 13 people if you remove Joshua and Ruiz. But what about Arsenbek Makhmudov? What about Frank Sanchez? What about Martin Bakole? Continue down the list. Continue down it. Because a champion should always defend that belt. If that champion is ever going to fight, you defend the belt. You can't claim to be the number one and the baddest man on the planet by fighting a guy who's never had a boxing fight in his life. You can't. And it's like me going to take on, I don't know, some dart player, some professional dart player. I can't play darts, but you know what? I'll train at it for about 5 or 6 weeks and we'll see what happens, yeah? Maybe I'll beat the world champion. How about that? That's how delusional this concept is. It's delusional. Delusional. And I wouldn't be at all surprised if behind closed doors there's exhibition rules. But they're all going to pretend that they're actually going to knock each other out. But they won't. They'll just have like a little bit of game of tag. And get paid millions for it. Congratulations, you're going to get paid a lot of money for it. I mean, Lord knows Frank Warren needs it because these shows are garbage, let's be honest. They're absolute poop. And this one just makes a complete mockery of that WBC belt. Listen, I have no problem with Tyson Fury taking on Francis Ngannou, Frank. No problem whatsoever. But he needs to vacate that belt. He ain't gonna, though. What was it he said yesterday or the day before? Hate the game, not the player. Well, the player is the one who's ruining the game. Tyson Fury is a perpetual ducker along with a perpetual liar. And people like Frank Warren and all others and Bob Arum and all these kind of people give him passes and allow him to do it. And pay him to do it as well. Because you don't care about boxing. Clearly, you don't care about boxing at all. You want to sit there and try and push agendas. And when anybody, any kind of platform says something that you don't like, you put in a quick little shoulder roll, you threaten them with legal action, or you start shouting at them. Like you did on TalkSport the other week. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic, Frank. It's pathetic. Garbage fight, absolute garbage. People criticise Joshua and anybody else. Well, at least Joshua's actually legitimately fighting somebody. At least Usyk is legitimately fighting somebody. So is Joe Joyce. So is Filip Hrgović. So is a lot of people. The only person who ain't is a so-called WBC champion. He ain't a champion. He's a WBC chump, is what he is. Drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.